So we've been through this area like three times now because first off, the game was running terribly in terms of not the optimization, but that analog stick issue. And I do want to correct myself here. Yes, it is not great on console in terms of Series X, where I tried it out again. The analog stick still has a bit of a dead zone, but it's not nearly as bad as it is on PC. So it's a bit disingenuous to say it has it on both, because it's so much worse here.
Long story short, you fixed it.
I had to download a third-party software in order to modify dead zones on controllers so that you can get that to go away. But I did fix it, yes. It took me hours, actually.
Last time around when we came through this part, that guy scared me so much. I screamed in the microphone, so we get to spare you from hearing that.
Ah, man, they would have liked that, though.
It was a lot. I'm sure I'll scream again at some point. I screamed and I, jumped halfway across the room.
Well, in space, no one can hear you.
That's true. In space, no one can hear you scream.
Does that mean it's the ultimate, area for misogynists because they don't have to hear women talk?
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, thank God, I can't hear her.
Did you want to tell them more about how you patched the game, essentially?
I thought you didn't want me to. You said, long story short, I fixed it, so I thought that meant stop talking.
No, I was just showing them the point, and then I thought you'd carry on with whatever you were saying.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Well, I thought that you just summed it up nicely. I spent hours downloading different programs to try and fix it, and I finally managed to. So here we are, and it should be better.
I'm very proud of you.
Still not perfect, though. It's still not perfect.
So last time we were talking about, by last time I mean, when
5 minutes ago.
When we were recording, but we weren't actually recording. We were talking about the difference between remasters and remakes and what the new Dead Space remake will be like. Do you want to start that off with what you were saying about Silent Hill?
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, there's more to it than that, though, because you asked me what's the difference. What is the difference between a remaster and a remake, and what are they actually making?
Because I thought that a remaster was, them taking the original game and just, making it better, whereas a remake was building the game from the ground up again.
And you're essentially correct on that. I mean, it's just them adding to it and making the graphics more modern or making the performance more modern.
To me, that feels like they're making a remaster for this game.
No. I'm telling you that's what a remaster is.
Oh, okay.
You asked me what it is.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
I got confused.
You're doing the same thing that you accuse me of doing, where I don't let you finish.
I'm sorry.
And then the thing with a remake is it's the opposite, right? It's rebuilt from the ground up. Now, they said Dead Space is a remake, fully remake. They said that it's not going to be any microtransactions. That's what they said. They also said, and the one reason I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, even though I think that, oh yeah, that's right, you need to use power nodes to open certain doors too, so you have to make that choice.
Interesting. I didn't know you could make a choice.
I just had to do that. So,
that's very sexy of you.
Basically what I was getting to, though, with that is, a gold semiconductor? Inventory full.
You found something down there, didn't you?
Yes, we found something.
So the texts were right all this time.
I wouldn't be certain of that. There was nothing divine in what I saw.
We must embrace this. We are the first witnesses.
Matthias isn't letting anyone down in the colony. It's under quarantine until we learn more.
To hell with Matthias. He of all people should know that this is greater than him, or the operation, or even the company. This is our deliverance.
Keep your damn voice down. People are dying down there.
Only the worthless and the unbelievers. But I believe. Do you believe, Terrence? Do you?
Are they trying to say the Necromorphs or some sort of thing that's going on with God?
That's what apparently he believes, yes.
Huh. Oh good, a med pack.
How do we... There we go. I used ours. Then what's the deal here? Plasma energy. So we can't pick all this stuff up, but it'll still be here.
Well, why don't you just check your inventory and drop some stuff that you don't need?
Yeah, the one thing that I think we can do is, oh man. We could probably just get rid of that.
Probably.
I don't know.
We don't need that.
I don't know if it stays on the ground, but I hope so.
I bet it probably will.
What I what I was getting at though is like they say it's going to be a remake, and then I asked you originally, do you think this game needs a remake? Because I only think, like, I mean, if you just brought
those things again.
If you brought the stuff over from, you know, PC, where it's just the in terms of the visuals, I don't think you need to do much.
No, because I think it looks fine already, and for the most part it plays well. The only thing it really needs is like some graphical corrections, like in terms of making things not glitch through the floor.
Yeah, and spaz out on the ground and stuff like that. And I think the dead zones and controllers should be fixed. But other than that, it's like, I don't know. Is it really necessary? Why not just make a Dead Space 4 and make it good? I get that they made 3, and maybe there's a point where it's hard to continue the story with Isaac Clarke, considering that he's just... I think that's his last name, right? Clarke?
Yeah, I think so.
Considering that he was basically just a tech engineer, and then he, you know, gets embroiled in 3 games of Necromorph fighting, plus spin-offs.
The thing is, there's many stories where somebody starts out being small, you know, like just a simple engineer, humble engineer, and then they become something bigger than that. And I think that they could really give him a fully fleshed out story. I mean, I haven't seen the rest of the games, and I'm sure I'll get to them eventually, and my opinion might change. But I mean, I bet there's probably more they could do, or they could use a different character.
Yeah, I mean, either one. I think, I don't think Dead Space necessarily needs to be Isaac either, like you kind of implied. I mean, there is more to his character building in 2 and 3.
I mean, a lot like Resident Evil, there's different characters that you can play as, so it would make sense if something like this in this game, where you could play as a different character if you really wanted to.
Yes, I agree with that. Also, the whole point of the gold semiconductor is just to sell it.
That makes sense.
So we're going to sell it, and we're going to sell that, and, oh yeah, we can move items from the inventory to the safe. So we're going to move a medium med pack to the safe. We're going to move a large med pack to the safe. And that's all I'm going to put in there for now.
Check the shop, because you might have... I thought it said you had, like, new schematics that you could buy now.
I don't know why we can't buy another suit, but... Well, we could buy a power node and use that. I mean, it's just a flamethrower, which we'd need 11,000 for. So I can save if you want to for that.
Sure, that'd be fun.
I also probably could just, I don't know.
Or we could get a better air
pack.
can.
I don't think we need a stasis pack.
Do we?
No.
Okay.
Because we find those all over the place.
That's true. And plus we can always buy one again.
Yeah, so I'll buy the flamethrower.
Okay.
And then I'll probably stop. So that we start saving up for power nodes.
We have a flamethrower.
We do, actually. It's right here.
Isaac's a pyromaniac now.
I will say that's one problem with the later games, is the weapons got insane.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, you become overpowered. So in 3, you're able to start building your own weapons.
Oh, yeah?
And it sounds cool. I don't remember if you can do that in 2 or not. But it sounds cool. It sounds like a good idea. But what it ends up being is that you can design these crazy overpowered things where it's like a machine gun shooting out saw blades and stuff like that, where it just immediately destroys all of them. And then the Necromorphs don't even stand a chance, so it's just kind of a walk in the park.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm yawny. It would make more sense if they amped up the difficulty of the game then, so that way you weren't so overpowered, that or nerfed the weapons. Because games, I mean, they can still be fun when you're, like, overpowered, but they're not as fun when there's a challenge.
You mean as when there is a challenge?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing is, I don't think horror games are fun when you're overpowered.
No.
I mean, it's just not scary.
Because it takes away the fear, and the whole thing about horror games, like, the whole fun thing is, like, getting scared. And, like, feeling like you're some powerless victim against these necromorphs who are gonna, like, pull your brains out and eat you for lunch.
Yes.
Hazardous anomaly detected. Quarantine activated.
Anyways, in terms of to answer you, the only thing I know of that I'm excited for in the remake, because I actually am interested in the remake. The only thing that I'm really excited for, though,
I'm interested in it too, by the way.
is the is the fact that they said that it's supposedly going to include some cut content.
Oh, really?
So
that's really exciting.
In my opinion, that's what you should do with remakes, is, say like, hey, we didn't know this was going to be a big deal when it came out, right? But now that we, made our money off it and we're making another one and we're doing it again, let's fix the mistakes we made the first time around. So the glitches are gone, the game looks and runs better, and it has the content we had to cut.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic idea. I'm really excited about that.
That's the one thing that left me excited, and it's the one thing that I will say really disappointed me about Demon Souls and some of those remakes like that, or even Shadow of the Colossus, is they didn't...
They left the content that was cut originally still cut.
Yeah, they were like, we wanted to stay true to the spirit of what the game was and stuff. And it's like,
annoying.
I get that, but you have an opportunity to expand what the game was and be better. Why?
The thing is, the old game still exists. I could go play that anytime I want. So why not make this next one different?
And while I agree with you, the problem with that is that people use that to justify making it too different sometimes too, where
That's
then they
true.
rip the soul out of the game, and then when you complain about it, they say, well, the original still exists.
Yeah, you gotta have to have a happy medium, because at some point you're just making a sequel. At another point, you're making it a little too similar, if that makes sense. Like, what you want is kind of like a director's cut of a movie, in a way.
Yes, I agree. And that's what I was going to say, is I would just want this game looks better lighting, runs better, and cut content. And if you do that, like, I'm sold on it. And either way, we'll be buying it. We'll be buying a console physical of it.
Yeah.
And we might end up buying it on PC as well. We'll have to see, because you and I want EA to go back to making those types of games.
Yeah, I definitely want to buy it as much as we can, I guess, like, in terms of, like, buying a physical and hopefully buying it on PC, just so they have those sales. Because I don't want them to be like, well, nobody was interested in this game.
Yeah, no.
Like, we were.
I'm not saying that everyone should buy 2 copies, because, like, that's unreasonable.
No, but if you want to and you have the money, why not?
Yes.
It's kind of like, why just buy a CD when you can also buy a vinyl if you have the money? Like, why not get both from your favorite artist?
Right, as long as you, have the money and you, aren't then missing out on other stuff, because it's also very implausible for a lot of people to buy something twice.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't have to. It's not like I'm sitting around telling Joe Schmo from the trailer park that he has to buy 13 copies of Dead Space the remake, or I'm gonna push him into the pit.
The pit is what they actually call his mom down at the trailer park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going back in her.
Why not? What stays in Alabama? Alright, I'm just trying to grab all this stuff because I didn't really have time. Oh, there's something behind me.
I finally convinced Jurgens to show me the video feed from the colony. And what I saw was glorious. Breathtaking. Miners undergoing a transformation into something extraordinary. I must know more. Even as the believer within me wants to become one of them, the scientist needs to uncover their secrets. I need to study one of these necromorphs, as Kyne so clinically puts it. I need to witness this infection firsthand. Perhaps that patient from the colony.
He thinks this is beautiful and wants to become one?
Yes.
What kind of brain-eating parasite did he suck up his nose?
Oh man, you're gonna love watching The Void with me if you think that's fucked up.
Oh my, what's The Void about?
A horror movie I want to watch with you.
Oh, maybe if we have time we could watch that tomorrow. Or the next day.
But, oh jeez. Anyways, this is not to go back to a previous conversation, but since we're still within the first 20 minutes, I should say this. The industry has no agreed upon standard for what is and is not a, no God, no fear. No God, no fear. So basically, if there's no God, you no fear. If you're Huh, interesting. Because of that, you've had weird things pop up, like Konami's Silent Hill thing, where they had to force the company that was remastering it to basically rebuild part of the game from the ground up, and you just have these weird things where, I don't know, remake and remaster become interchangeable, even though they're not at all. It's like how they've started doing these weird things, like, you know, there's sequels, there's prequels. Oh.
Come on! Come on! Let me out! No!
Can we help him?
I couldn't open it.
Is he dead?
He's dead. It said stand by.
Why didn't it let us open it?
I don't know.
That poor guy.
Oh no, that was a baby.
It was a baby. Why do they have babies on the ship? Oh!
Get off!
Ew!
Get off of me!
Why do they just have babies in tubes on the ship? What the hell?
I don't know, they must be growing them?
What?
Maybe they're cloning them?
There was some weird stuff going on in the Ishimura. Anyway, you were gonna say that there's no standard that these companies have for when they make remakes or
Those
something?
are not normal babies.
No. They got big heads.
Yeah, that's all I was saying, is I don't think they have much of a standard. Ew, what the hell? They're like growing like human baby necromorph hybrids?
What the fuck? This is really messed up.
Yeah.
They're like making mega minds. Look at their heads.
Making Megamind.
Yeah, look at their heads.
We've
it's like
just found-
Jimmy Neutron.
We found Megamind's origin story here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's all I was saying, is I don't think that they care in terms of not just EA, but all these companies about a standardized term for remake and remaster. There is one, but they don't follow it, so...
They just kind of do whatever they think will sell.
That's what I think.
Yum! We should eat that one. He's thick.
Burn. Oh my gosh.
Ugh,
I lit him on fire. Why is he not dead?
He's yuckier than the normal Necromorphs. I don't like him. Oh, you might want to press X.
I did.
Oh, good.
That is exactly what deserved to happen to that guy. Is he still alive?
Ew. Well, I'm glad you got him. Gosh. I'm sad we couldn't save that other guy.
Ew. This might be some of the most disgusting monster design I've seen in a game, actually.
Yeah, it's really gross. I like how Isaac can walk around and get like 3 different weapons on the ship, and somehow all the other people who survived on the ship couldn't get even one weapon.
Well, he bought it from the thriving economy.
Well, why didn't they just buy theirs from the economy?
They're poor. This is a message about how the poor die first in the purge, or whatever.
Well, you know what? Maybe they should have tried just getting a job.
Did you ever watch... You're right, George Bush. Thanks for solving the homeless crisis.
You're welcome.
What is up with all these lazy people, right?
Yeah, why don't they just get a job?
Um...
McDonald's is hiring, I hear.
Yeah, because you can live off that. Did you ever watch any of the Purge movies?
No, I didn't. I heard that the first one was good, and I heard that the rest of them were kind of ass.
2 is fine, but yeah, they started really good. They started really good, and...
Alright, that thermite you picked up should be able to melt through the barricade. Use the shock pad to ignite it. Hope I can hold this position. I can hear something big moving out there.
Anyway, so what I was going to say about that was just that the movie started out good, and my joke with the poor dying first was that they basically became a weird political thing. It started out just about this day in time. Well, like, basically there's a day every year where crime is permitted, and it's supposed to get it out of the system of everybody.
It's like an interesting concept, but it's also extremely unrealistic. Like, would that ever happen, really?
I don't know, probably not, but... Bless you, you're gonna have to cut that out.
Sorry.
Whoa! Oh my.
Look at her titties.
my. And eventually it ends up being revealed that it's like the Purge was designed by the government to get rid of black people and poor people and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's the dumbest thing. It started off as a really interesting idea, and then it just
then they tried to become woke.
Well, yeah, it tried to say something, like some message, and it's like, okay, well, I get what you're going for, but this isn't... It's not clever like you think it is. It's very surface level, like, government bad. I'm not even saying that the government isn't bad sometimes, but it was just the most surface level plot ever. And it was very amusing to me.
Yeah, like, why not throw in the Asians in there, too? Am I right?
It basically was like a minority purge type thing, was what they were saying.
Didn't they kill a couple of white women in there, though?
Oh, yeah, like, white people died, too. But I'm saying that later on, they say that the purge was designed by the government in order to get rid of people they didn't want. That's what they say at the, later on.
I guess. I suppose that makes sense, kind of.
Yeah, I suppose kind of. I don't think we needed all those.
Well, like, the thing is, like, a lot of people who, would be doing crimes, I don't think they'd necessarily be going out of their way to be like, I'm only gonna murder black people.
No. It was like the first... I get what you're saying, but the first experimental place where they tried it was like a low-income type area.
Oh.
So, like, they started it in terms of where they started it to try and... see what would happen, people? And then they, moved on from there, and then that was like the original intent of the purge.
Oh, okay, interesting.
But it was kind of just silly seeming, at least to me.
Where are we supposed to be going?
Well, I wanted to use I only have one health thing.
But we have others in storage.
Yeah, I thought I grabbed one, but I must have grabbed the air one. Maybe I shouldn't have sold that one. Anyway,
Well, you can always buy another.
Oh. Move. Do you want me to just heal us?
Yeah, can I play?
Yeah.
Yay!
If you see another one of those workbenches,
You want me to throw your mom on top of it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we already know your mom would throw herself on top of it.
Oh my.
I'm glad we stood right in front of the explosion.
I'm glad we did, too. That was very much so.
Okay, you're through. Should be clear from there to the morgue. Remember, the codes are on the captain's body.
This is Senior Medical Officer Nicole Brennan transmitting ship-wide. We need more help. We don't have the resources to deal with this many cases. Nobody would tell us what's happening. These wounds, we are not equipped to deal with this. God. Get him to the table. Hold him. Nurse, you hold him down. Christ. There's recording.
That was Nicole, right? I can't tell from here when that log was made. I'm sure she's around here somewhere.
That's the girl I assume he's in love with?
I don't know.
That or he's related to?
I don't really know Nicole's relation to him off the top of my head, because I only ever played Dead Space 1. And I didn't beat it. I wasn't very good.
I just, I don't trust that hole. It looks wet.
Yeah.
I don't like wet holes.
I'm actually a big fan of wet holes, personally.
I'm not.
Well,